Hello there, good afternoon. Not sure if I will have anybody watching today because it's 2:30 instead of 10:30 this morning. But if you can join me, that would be lovely. I seem to keep freezing a little bit, so I hope that's not going to be how it is for the rest of the session. But my glasses are absolutely filthy. So I'm going to give those a little clean now. I should really have cleaned them properly before. Who is on? We've had a comment. Anne's here. I thought it'd be you, Anne. Thank you. So I look like I'm a little bit glitchy today, so I hope it's going to be all right. Yeah, I got a chance of a couple of hours craft tutoring work this morning. I couldn't really turn that down. So I was crafting. But obviously just not with you guys. So I am here anyway, and it is the start of a brand new round of coffee and card. I'm freezing up. I don't know how I can sort it, Fiona, without starting again. Hopefully once I get in a rhythm, it might be okay. We'll just have to go with it, I think. So it's the beginning of December, and there's always new things happening at the start of the month. So I'm going to take a few moments to go through those things. Something that's really exciting, and thank you to, I think I've had 3 or 4 orders so far. Some of you are very keen and ordered quite late last night or early this morning. And some last chance products have gone live today. Now, this is a little bit of a new thing and a new way of doing it. And normally we produce a PDF list, which has been a bit of a nightmare over the last few years. And it's usually things from the mini catalogue that ends very soon, in like 4 weeks. But it's not just those that are on the last chance this time. Well, I can see myself glitching a bit, Fiona, so it could be here as well. But we'll just power through. So it's not just the mini catalogue things, it's some of the online exclusive products that Stampin' Up are saying, we're not going to be getting any more of these. So these are reduced. Also, some of the kits are reduced, which are fabulous. There's some kits that are £5 something, perfect for kids. Like there's a Panda and Friends kit, £5.60 I think it is, perfect gift. Loads of the kits are reduced and they're like half price. So some are 40% off, 50% off, which is brilliant. And there's loads of good things from the online, like the coffee set. If you like the coffee set and you didn't get that, that's reduced. So I've created a new online code that was emailed out on my newsletter last night. So yeah, it's a different way of shopping. You just go on my online store, which is the paperhaven.stampinup.net. And then if you click on specials and then last chance products, I think it is, then you will find them all. And you can filter by how much they're reduced, and you can filter by lowest to highest price and things like that. So yeah, Anne, have a look because there's some proper bargains, and it's not just all the Christmas stuff, there's some great stuff. So, and I've still got bookings open for my bumper bingo on the 18th of December. I've not got many booked on for that, which is sad, but I'll keep plugging away. And I've got my mini catalogue and celebration brochure, and I'm planning my mini catalogue launch for January. I'm sorting that this week. And the next coffee and card, which starts in January, which is from this suite, this catalogue, is now live for bookings on my website, and it's round 45, and it's going to be gorgeous, fresh spring colours, and I can't wait. I've got the stamp set and the dies, but I haven't got the papers. They weren't in stock, but they will be here by next Tuesday. So I will share them all next week, and hopefully I may have made some cards. so I can share with you a little bit more. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Oh, we've also got 2 new kits available this month. Okie dokie. Right, let me lower that. Okay, so we're using the Humble Home bundle, which the punch is currently out of stock at the moment. So I'm so glad I advertised this early on and got people to sign up early on. I've got 5 of you watching. Please say hi if you want to. Normally I would be here at 10:30 on a Tuesday. Should be back to normal next week. So you get in the bundle, you get the stamp set and the punch. Now, it's not just a Christmas stamp set. We have got like a gingerbread house, a Merry Christmas stamp, but it's you know, you've got thank you and you've got welcome and from our house to yours and things like that. So you can make these lovely little houses and you can then decorate them with the windows. More of that another week, because for this week we are going to do a Christmas card, because I wanted to show you someone, because people still might be making the Christmas cards. It's only the 3rd of December. So I did decide to do a Christmas card this week, but first I want to go through your pack, because in your pack you should have had this. You should have had half a pack of the papers, and then I've given you a full sheet of basic beige. This is a bit different how I've done this, and a full sheet of standard white, basic white, and some envelopes, 6 envelopes. I've not given myself them because they're in my drawer, and a biscuit and a coffee sachet. And yeah, I am doing it a little bit different. So rather than cutting your scraps down, oh, how lovely, Zoe, from Bali. Amazing. Thank you. So rather than cut scraps down, I've given you a whole sheet of white so you can use it for what you need. So this is week 1, and this was cased from my lovely friend Brenda Nelson, who is in Canada, and she's fabulous. She's a scrapbooker. She's amazing. And yeah, she did it in pinks, and it is a little bit different. But yeah, hope you like that. Let me lower it even a bit. And it's in Pool Party, one of Julie's favourites. So what have we got in our little bag this week? You should have your Pool Party card base, and then you should have a Pool Party piece that's going to sit there, okay? And you will need some form of die for this week's to create an aperture. So sorry if those of you who like to craft along, I might need to send you off to go get a die. I've used a circle. I've used the stylish shapes, the biggest circle, okay? And I'm going to use that to make a little aperture. And then what I've done is I've used some of the dark blue paper, which is like a wood effect, but I thought, wow, that's just going to make a lovely sky. Yeah, I hope you think it's quite effective. It's made a really nice sky. And you've also got a little bit of Poppy Parade for the hearts there, and a little die cut. Now this is from the greetings of the season, so if you did the green and gold one, then you should have those. And I have used, if you've got some snowflakes or some little die cut snowflakes, you could use those on your card. I haven't put those in because I didn't have enough left from giving you all some in the Snowy Wonder. So this card also, if Sandra's watching, because Sandra always does too, I thought would look nice if you stamped it and embossed it on pecan pie and made a proper gingerbread house like that. I didn't want to get too technical with embossing because I can't really include that for coffee and card, but I can talk you through how we can do it. So what we're going to do is, first off, we're going to take a trimmer and we're going to cut some white. Now, just going to measure the aperture. It's about 8 centimetres. So I would cut a piece of white that's 9 centimetres wide. Okay. And then I'm going to trim, probably needs to be about 6 or 7 deep. I'll go 6.5. And then I'm going to use this to stamp my house on. Oh look, I've already got a mucky mark on that. We'll use that to stamp our house on, and we'll cut some more. Must have dirty fingers. I keep getting mark. Oh, don't worry, we'll use that side. Okay. Right, so I spent 3 hours tidying my craft room on Saturday. I've been in agony ever since because I've hurt my hip somehow. Right, I'm stamping in pecan pie. Okay, so I've stamped that. Now, while I've also got my ink pad open and my stamp set open, I am going to, what I might do is, I think I'm going to do it the other way around. So the little heart goes where the hole is to cover it up, but I'm going to do it at the other side on this one. So I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas in pecan pie there. Okay. So I thought we'll do that. We'll close the ink pad while it's while we've got it open. And I am on such a tidying up mission. Look, I'm tidying these away as I go. Right, I am going to use some Stampin' Blends to colour this in. Okay, so firstly, I'm just going to colour that roof in, and I'm only going to use just Smoky Slate, and I'm not blending, I'm just using the light one because it's such a thin area that there's no point in blending, it's so small. And then I'm taking the dark pool party and I'm going to colour these little scallops in. So this is a little colourful little house. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to colour those in there like that. Oh, one thing I forgot to do was my little windowsills. There we go. And then I'm going to colour the front door. Now, I have done this in Poppy Parade. So what I do is I do a little bit of dark at the top, like that. Oh, I have a few extra people on that. Oh, I've gone over the edge there. Whoopsie. Whoopsie, Julie. I'm actually going to try and get rid of that with the colour lifter, which I am going to use again in a moment. And then what I'm going to do is I'm taking a dark crumb cake and I'm going under these scallops, because what you've got to think is there would be a bit of shadow here from the roof. Like that. And then I'm going to do it. It sort of looks a little bit dirty or weathered, but I like it. I'm going to do a bit like that, okay? And then I'm going to go over with the... Now, if you don't have these blends, but you have white embossing powder and a piece of maybe pecan pie card or some brown card, then you could try embossing, stamping it in Versamark and embossing with white embossing powder. So what I'm doing here is I'm going over with the light, and I'm not colouring the whole thing. But I am going to go around all the edges. And then I'm going to colour the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to take, if you've got the colour, oh, I've not done the chimney. So again, I'm going to do a little bit of the dark under there. And then doing a little bit of grey across the top. So this just sort of like softens the edges and almost blends it in a little bit. Now just see what you think. Yeah. Rather than just colouring it in full solid. You can always add a bit more on if you want to. You can always add on, but you can't take away unless you've got the colour lifter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pop this in here and we're going to punch this out. There we go. Now we do get a little heart when you punch it. I do need to talk you through the rest of this. Those squares actually punch the little square windows that match, and then the heart's just a little extra. So what we need to do is we need to, I've given you plenty of this, take our Poppy Parade, just pop it in on an angle and punch out a little heart. Look, and you've got all that left. Well, yours might be a slightly different shape to mine. So what I can do, it's a nice effect, isn't it? Is I'm going to pop a little bit of glue on here. You just sort of have to glue it over the hole, really. Like that. So we've got everything lined up and ready. But we need to do our front now. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to pop that in my machine. Got it already down here. Super organised today, probably because I'm doing it later on in the day. And I'm going to go through there with that. little bit closer to the top than at the bottom, but about an inch, maybe a small inch gap from the top. As I said, this is my friend Brenda Nelson. I've forgotten what her business page is called. And you do get that. You've got your circle to use for something else. Now, I think I'm going to do something a bit different with mine. And I'm going to emboss. I'm going to see what it looks like embossed. Okay? The dog thinks I'm going out because I've just stood up. Eula, come and lie down. Come and sit down. So I'm going to pop that in there. And go through with that. I just thought I'd see. Oh, hi Ali, thank you. I just thought I'd see what it looks like as an alternative way. You know, we love a little bit of embossing, don't we? There we go. And that's gonna just, I thought it might just add a little bit more interest, yeah? So what we're gonna do is we have this piece of white that's going to go here. But what I'm gonna do first is tear it. Now don't freak out over this tearing because it's great, because it makes it look like snow. So what you need to do, it's easier often to open that up. Now that's obviously a little bit too high. So I'm going to move that down a bit. So it's about halfway, like that. And then we do need to cut a piece of this for our sky. And if you cut it at 9 centimetres, and if you cut it at 6.5, you should have enough. Maybe even 6. There'll be a bit of an overlap. We don't want to waste paper. So we position that there, and we'll position that like that. I just think it looks great as a sky. Look, with them little flecks and things. I just think they look a bit like stars, and yeah. Do we like that? What do we think? And then, where have I put my stuff? Oh man. Oh, it's under the circle. And then you see that will sit there. And that will sit there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just eyeball this. In fact, I might take that out from under there. Pop that there. And then that's just going to overlap slightly. Okay, and that will go like that. So we're going to take some dimensionals. So yeah, please do have a look at the Last Chance products. It's a new way of doing it. So there's always going to be an area on my online store for last chance products, and when they're gone, but there always will be an area for them. I think it's sort of replacing the clearance rack almost, so they'll all be in there. As I say, some of the kits are half price. There's some amazing offers there. Great, perfect timing if you've not got sorted for Christmas prezzies yet. I've got one or two that I've got my eye on for my niece, who just actually had a birthday a week and a half ago. Okay, so there it is embossed, and then a couple of pads on here. The last chance products will be updated every 2 months as well, so the next update will be February. I've got scrapbook class tomorrow night on my scrapbooking group, so if you're in my scrapbooking group, I will be live. I think I've said 7:30. I might change it to 15:15, but yeah, I'm using the reindeer days, yeah, and that's actually on the last chance list, but it's not reduced. And then I may just add some little stars. I just didn't know if I'd have enough to send out some to everybody. And I'm sure you've got a small snowflake die. Maybe there's more in here than there looks. It looks more. Oops, that's a big splodge. Oopsie. There we go. Let me just tidy up. Tidying everything away, because I'm not spending hours again like I did on Saturday. Oops, I've just popped, my ruler's just dropped in my cup of tea. I'll put those in the bin shortly. And there we have this week's card. I'd love to know what you think of this one. Thank you, girls. So we've got the original plain one, and oh, look at it with the embossing. Doesn't it look cute? Pleased with that. Thank you, Brenda, for your inspiration. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is pop those papers and the white cards that I've got left and that card, and I might even pop my circle back in this brown bag for next week's card. That can go back in my bag for next week, and I will show you next week's card, which I think you've seen because this was one of my cards I used for advertising. So next week we're going to be using, I've used Pecan Pie, Coastal Cabana. You don't have to use Coastal Cabana, you can use another colour that's not a brown. You could use a pink, you could use a red, doesn't really matter. And a Pecan Pie, Early Espresso and Coastal Cabana. And we're going to do the little window effect, and we're going to do a bit of ink splattering and some blending brush. So I've used a blending brush for the background, So yeah, it's a little new home card. Oh, thanks. I like the embossed one. So that's next week's, which you have seen. So, what time is it? Oh, just half an hour. Perfecto. Right, I'm going to go make another drink because my ruler dropped in it and it's probably poisoned my drink. I'm all tidied up in the bags. I'm going to tidy these things away. And I've got to do some more Stampin' Up things. I'm doing a little class somewhere tomorrow afternoon, so I just need to finish off a few things for that. And yeah, if you want to check out those bargains, if you do want me to order for you, I'm likely to be placing an order in the morning, and hoping that things haven't sold out. It's probably always best if you order yourself, but I'll probably put an order together in the morning. But just check with me, send me a message or an email. Hopefully I'm a bit better with emails. I'm not poorly anymore. I was poorly again a week and a half ago. It was awful. I thought I wouldn't get this coffee and card all prepped, but I did in the end, but they didn't go out until Saturday, so I do hope people have received those. And I don't know why, but I've had a bad hip. I've hurt my hip, but that feels loads better today. So yes, have a good week, everybody. Thank you for accommodating me at a different time of the day. I'm off to tidy up and make another drink, and I will see some of you maybe for scrapbooking if you're in the scrapbook club tomorrow night, and if not, I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.